Annette Griswold, fairly strong, very credible witness. Just another witness that we're hearing about some of this fraud, and particularly the fraud involving this Forge account. We heard from already 2 other witnesses talk about it. We'll hear from another a little later. As far as the state is concerned, as many people as the judge allows you to bring in to talk basically about the same frauds, it's a good thing for you. Because each one of them is affected by the fraud, and each one of them angry, and especially someone like Annette, who's a dutiful employee, cares obviously about Mr. Murdaugh. We're seeing this over and over, but for those reasons, makes her a really strong witness.
Agreed. I mean, this is a lady who, as she said, she took control and ownership over her task, which apparently was preparing these disbursement sheets and making sure funds were paid to clients and things were accounted for. And despite her diligence, she's saying that the person she looked up to, took direction from, reported to, was a fraud in and of himself, and that he had been lying to her, lying to his partners at the law firm, and ultimately lying to his clients. And it disappointed her. Obviously, she was upset, but it was unbeknownst to her, and it was going on for such a period of time on such an enormous scale. I think there was a very damaging witness and a very credible witness, if you will, for the prosecution.
Yeah, and even worse, Adanté, she was clear that he was kind of using her as well. She was unsuspecting, and he was using her. She was just trying to do her job. So I think that will certainly resonate with the jury. On cross, I thought the defense did what they could. They want to make him seem like a family man, not a guy that's going to go out and kill his family. You got to do that. But they also brought out something, a text that he had sent to her. I want to take a quick listen to this part of the cross and get your thoughts on this. Wasn't quite sure where the defense was going. Let's take a listen.
Sure.
Can you read just that one sentence starting where my finger's pointing that the defendant sent to you?
The worst part is knowing I did the most damage to those I love the most.
All right, my mistake. That wasn't the defense. That was on redirect. And I want to know what you think the effect of that might be on the jury. Basically, he says to her, I'm just upset that this affected so deeply my family and those around me. Is that a tacit sort of, him saying, yes, I did more here than meets the eye?
I think that it could be interpreted that way, certainly. If you're leaning towards one side, then you hear that you're saying, is he letting on? Is his guilt eating him up? He's essentially admitting, but not doing it full-throatedly, but kind of letting it slip out that, hey, I was in a place and I did things that I'm not proud about, and I actually harmed my family in ways beyond just the embarrassment from these financial misdealings and the scheme of defrauding clients and his partners. At the same time, if you're leaning towards, hey, he may have done all this financial stuff, but I don't believe that he killed his family, then you're saying, look, this is a guy who was just trying to atone and make amends to a staffer that trusted him, whose trust he betrayed, but that doesn't mean he necessarily killed his family. So I think it could go either way, and I think it's really based upon the way in which you're seeing the evidence, the lens of which you're looking and listening to all the evidence as it comes in.
Yeah, no doubt. And at the time he sent that text, Adanté, he was in recovery. And we know one of the steps of recovery is to make amends with the people you hurt. So perhaps they can couch it in those terms as well. All right, folks, coming up next, the next witness.